Listen with intention. Your entire future could shift because of what you're about to understand. If you can't hold the image of wealth in your mind, you will never hold it in your hands. That's not motivational fluff. It's universal law. The man who waits to believe until he sees results will wait forever. Life doesn't cater to your needs. It mirrors your expectations. You don't get what you want. You get who you are inside. The world isn't reacting to your words. It's responding to your self-image. Walk like a beggar, and life will treat you like one. Walk like a king. Think like one. Speak like one. And wealth, power, and opportunity will begin organizing themselves around you as if you already sat on the throne. Understand this now. This is not just a truth. It is the truth, the cornerstone of every fortune ever built. The seed of all external success is internal belief. Thought comes before money, before opportunity, before connections, before visibility. Everything else is just the after-image of thought. You must make a choice today to stop thinking the way you've always thought, because what you're experiencing now is nothing more than the harvest of your past beliefs. If your life feels full of delays, scarcity, anxiety, or limitation, it's not because the system is broken or someone's holding you back. It's because your thoughts haven't yet demanded anything greater. Poverty is not noble. It is not divine will. It is not a symbol of humility. It is the result of a flawed thought pattern, a broken belief system, and broken systems can be rebuilt. You were not born to receive crumbs or survive on the edge. You were born to create, to shape your world with your mind, your hands, your words, and your unwavering belief. Faith must precede evidence. The man who needs physical proof before claiming wealth has the order reversed. First comes your identity, your inner conviction. Then the world mirrors it. Henry Ford didn't begin with factories, capital, or public confidence. He began with thought, so focused, so unwavering, that nothing could resist it. He saw the assembly line before it existed. He believed in mass production when others mocked him. They called him mad. They laughed. But Ford wasn't moved by the laughter of small minds. He moved with purpose, and the world followed. This is the secret blueprint behind every millionaire and titan you've ever admired. Before the wealth, the empire, or the applause, there was a mental image. They built success in their imagination long before it showed up in reality. They walked with purpose when their pockets were empty. They carried themselves like giants when surrounded by doubt. And because they believed first, life eventually had to match that belief. Let's be crystal clear. Belief isn't fantasy. It isn't just dreaming or hoping. Belief is a decision, a mental law. It's choosing to see the invisible and treat it like fact. It's declaring your goals out loud, not to impress the world, but to convince your subconscious that this is non-negotiable. You don't get rich by accident. You don't become successful through luck. You build it first in the invisible space of your identity. Then everything else follows. This is your turning point. Think like the person you intend to become. Walk like him. Speak like him. And soon, you will become him. Act like a man of wealth, long before the world confirms it. You must start training your mind before the money shows up. Train your language. Train your posture. Train the picture you carry of yourself inside. Do not behave like someone waiting for wealth. Walk, talk, and act as if you already hold the title to a fortune. Because in truth, you do. Wealth doesn't begin in your bank account. It begins in your beliefs. Once the decision is made in your mind, the rest begins to arrange itself. The details will come. The path will appear. The steps will organize themselves. But only after the inner choice has been declared with absolute clarity. Not whispered, not wished. Declared. Every time you speak your goal out loud with fire in your voice, you are engraving wealth into your identity. Every time you move with certainty instead of hesitation, You are giving direct orders to the infinite intelligence that governs all results. Every action you take in alignment with your belief, despite your current circumstances, is a signal to life that says, "I'm ready." Repeat this right now. I see the wealth. I speak the wealth. I walk as if it's already mine. I believe, therefore I receive. Again, but this time with the voice of someone who has decided, I see the wealth. I speak the wealth. I walk as if it's already mine. I believe, therefore I receive. This isn't poetry, it's law. The man who repeats this daily, with emotion, movement, and full attention, becomes wealthy. Not by chance, by principle, by discipline. Understand this. You will never attract prosperity thinking like someone trying to survive. You must think like a man who commands his world, a man who does not wait for permission to thrive. Walk differently starting today. Speak differently. And don't let a single word of lack, hesitation, or doubt pass your lips. Even if your eyes see scarcity, let your voice declare abundance. Even if your hands are empty, let your tongue proclaim ownership, because thought is the first wealth, and belief is the first possession. Indecision is the true thief. The man who is unsure of what he wants receives confusion, delay, and spiritual poverty in return. Life does not reward uncertainty. It rewards clarity. The universe does not obey the man who says maybe. It obeys the man who declares what he wants and moves with intention toward it. Let me tell you the story of Edwin C. Barnes. He wasn't born wealthy. He had no connections, no privileges, but he had what most never develop, a definite chief aim. He didn't say, "I'd like to work with Edison someday." He said, "I will work with Edison. I will go into business with him." And even though he didn't have money for a train ticket, he made his way to Edison's office. He spoke his goal out loud, and though he was rejected at first, he didn't flinch. He accepted a minor job and waited for his moment. That moment came. He proved himself, and eventually he became Edison's business partner. Not because of luck, not because of talent, but because he was clear. He burned the bridges behind him. He rejected every doubt within him. He was definite, and life rewarded him. So now I ask you, have you declared your goal? Have you written it down? Have you shaped your daily hours around it? Or are you still saying, someday? Because someday is not the path of a millionaire. It's the path of a drifter. And wealth does not follow drifters. It follows decision makers. The world rewards clarity. Vagueness invites delay, confusion, and poverty. You must write your definite chief aim today. Not tomorrow, not eventually, but now. And once written, you must speak it out loud. Not as a hopeful wish, but as an unshakable law. Memorize it. Repeat it every morning and every night. Let your words become your commands. Let your voice become your authority. Every single hour of your day must serve this aim. Every book you read, every conversation you engage in, every task you complete. Ask yourself one question. Does this serve my goal or distract me from it? The clearer your aim, the faster you rise. The vaguer your direction, the longer you drift. Let me say this plainly. Without a definite chief aim, your efforts will scatter like leaves in the wind. You might be busy, but you won't be productive. You might move quickly, but you won't build anything of substance. Movement without direction isn't progress. It's exhaustion, and exhaustion is not wealth. Clarity is your magnet. It draws the right people, the right ideas, the right opportunities. It sharpens your focus, keeps you awake, makes you notice conversations others ignore, sees ideas they forget, act on chances they overlook. Clarity turns you into a dangerous man, because most people live in fog. They don't know what they want, but you do. And when you do, you cut through the hesitation of others like a blade through mist. So here's your assignment. Write your definite chief aim. Speak it aloud with your full voice. Memorize it, repeat it, morning and night, and schedule your time around it, without compromise. Do not leave room for the unnecessary. Do not entertain distractions. Do not listen to those who laugh. Their opinions are not your concern. Your concern is to build, and you cannot build what you haven't first declared. The men who hold great fortunes did not wait for the path to be easy. They walked through fire with intention, and purpose is stronger than fear. Purpose is stronger than failure. Purpose is the anchor that keeps you grounded in the storm. When critics rise, purpose speaks. When doubt creeps in, purpose commands. When the world resists, purpose persists. Say this with me now. I have clarity. I know what I want. I walk toward wealth daily. Again, I have clarity. I know what I want. I walk toward wealth daily. Do not let another voice rise above your goal. Do not let any obstacle outlast your vision. If you remain clear, if you remain definite, then wealth must come. Not by miracle, not by chance, but by law. No man becomes rich while calling himself poor. No man commands opportunity while seeing himself as a victim. The world doesn't pay you for your time. It pays you for your identity. Who you are dictates what you earn. The man who behaves like a servant of fate, a passive receiver of life's leftovers, will never attract more than enough to survive. But the man who calls himself a builder of wealth, a master of focus, a creator of outcomes, that man unleashes forces far greater than what the average mind can grasp. Because the world reflects identity, not circumstance. You don't become rich first. You become rich in identity, and the world catches up. This is one of the most misunderstood truths in the world of success. You don't build wealth and then become wealthy. You become wealthy in belief, posture, and self-perception, and the results follow. As Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." This isn't just a nice quote, it's a law. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is vividly imagined and what is actually real. It obeys belief, and belief is built through repetition, posture, tone, and aligned action. So, walk like a man of wealth, speak like one, think like one, behave like one, before the world gives you permission, because the world follows conviction. But most men do the opposite. They wait. They say, "Once I have the money, then I'll walk differently. Then I'll speak with more certainty." But they've fallen for the illusion of timing. The world doesn't reward those who wait to become. It rewards those who act as if they already are. Let me show you the difference. The ordinary man walks into a room with hesitation. His shoulders slump. His tone is unsure. His eyes search for permission. His words are soaked in doubt. He asks, "Is this okay? Can I?" Then he waits. And when life doesn't change, he blames the world. But the wealthy man walks in with presence. He stands tall. His tone is calm but decisive. His gaze is focused. His speech is purposeful. He doesn't ask for space. He commands it, not with arrogance, but with identity. He knows who he is. And because he knows, others believe it too. You must become that man before you possess what he has. You must rehearse the movements, the clarity, the voice, until identity becomes natural. This isn't pretending, it's aligning. You're not faking anything, you're practicing. And what you practice consistently becomes your automatic self. The mind doesn't argue with repetition. It accepts and builds from it. So, start now. Write your new self-description. Be bold. Be specific. Don't describe who you are today. Describe who you are becoming. And then declare it out loud. Say, "I am a builder of wealth. I am a master of focus. I am a leader of men. I am a creator of opportunities. I am the one who commands his world." Say it again, every morning, every evening, before meetings, before work, before every decision. Let your behavior match your words. This includes posture. Stand like wealth walks beside you. Don't let your body collapse. Lift it. Don't shrink your frame, expand it. Physiology directs psychology. The way you hold your body teaches your subconscious what to believe. Act like a servant, and your mind will follow. Act like a man of mission, and your thoughts will rise to meet it. This includes your voice. Speak with clarity. Speak with purpose. Don't say, "I think," "I'm not sure," or "maybe." Replace those with, "I will," "This is," "It's done." We move forward. Speak like someone who decides, not someone who begs. Your tone is your tool. Sharpen it. And your vocabulary? It's your construction kit. Poor men use words of delay, scarcity, and struggle. They speak of survival, difficulty, and hope. Rich men use words of design, precision, power, and action. They don't speak in reaction, they speak with direction. You're not building with materials, you're building with language. Every word you say reinforces your identity. So speak like the future you. Your presence trains your world, and your environment trains your identity. You must become aware of the atmosphere you create when you walk into a room. Do others feel clarity or confusion, leadership or passivity, order or disorder? Because presence is power, and power opens doors. Practice your presence until it becomes second nature. Andrew Carnegie understood this. Long before he built a steel empire, he built an atmosphere of discipline and clarity. His day was structured. His space was clean. His circle was sharp. He didn't surround himself with noise, but with purpose. Why? Because your external environment reflects your internal world. The man who cannot control himself, Napoleon Hill wrote, can never control his environment or others. Reset. You must now begin crafting an environment that aligns with who you are becoming. If you're building the life of a millionaire, your surroundings must reflect order, clarity, and strength. No clutter, no chaos, no wasted hours. Your room should show discipline. Your schedule should reflect decision. Your speech should radiate clarity. You're not waiting for wealth to start treating yourself with value. You begin now. Because the man who respects himself in private becomes the man others trust in public. Let's talk now about one of the most powerful principles ever taught, the mastermind. This isn't about casual friendships. It's not about convenience. It's about alliance, spiritual and strategic alliance between minds united in belief, execution, and vision. When two or more minds come together in perfect harmony, a third force is born, greater than either one alone. That force is genius. That force builds fortunes. That force rewrites history. Does your current circle have that kind of harmony? If not, you're not neutral. You're regressing. The crowd that complains, delays, doubts, mocks clarity, and repeats fear, they're not harmless. They're termites in your foundation. You'll start thinking like them, not because you agree, but because exposure breeds belief. What you hear, you entertain. What you entertain, you consider. What you consider, you eventually obey. So protect your environment as fiercely as a king guards his gates. You may ask, but what if I'm alone? Then good. Every great mastermind starts with one man, alone, preparing. Start your ritual. Start your practice. Start your discipline. Speak your goal aloud. Sit in silence. Write, build, focus. And in time, the right minds will be drawn to you, not by accident, but by law. The man who organizes his life becomes a beacon, and those who are trained will find you. Let the untrained mock, but the aligned will recognize. Don't confuse familiarity with alignment. You may be surrounded by people who know you, but do they build you? You might share blood, but do you share beliefs? You might laugh together, but do you grow together? You don't need many, you need alignment. One mind in harmony is worth more than 50 in doubt. Say it with me now. My environment reflects my worth. I allow only what sharpens, elevates, and multiplies. Again, my environment reflects my worth. I allow only what sharpens, elevates, and multiplies. This is not arrogance, it's authority. The man who tolerates chaos is not yet ready for command. The man who masters himself can never be mastered again. Let me be blunt. The man ruled by impulse will never build a legacy. The man who obeys every emotional itch will never be trusted with greatness. But the man who learns to convert desire into decision, emotion into execution, and temptation into discipline, he becomes unstoppable. Millionaires aren't emotionless. They're not cold, they're passionate, but they don't waste that fire. They direct it. They don't suppress emotion, they refine it. Every emotion is energy, and energy is power. But power without control becomes destruction. The same fire that forges steel can burn a house to the ground. The same desire that fuels ambition can wreck a life if misused. The difference? Direction. Poor men waste their energy chasing pleasure. Rich men channel their energy building purpose. One lives for indulgence. The other lives for intention. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood forces in all of human history: sexual transmutation. As Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, when harnessed and redirected, sex energy can lift a man to heights of genius. It is the most potent energy known to man. It fuels motion, sharpens ambition, intensifies imagination, strengthens will, and sets fire to thought. But when used recklessly, when wasted in empty pleasure or mindless fantasy, it dulls the spirit and weakens the mind. Yet when transmuted, when redirected toward building, creating, innovating, it becomes miraculous. It becomes the fuel behind great books, massive businesses, revolutionary inventions, and world-altering fortunes. Let me tell you this with absolute clarity. No man has achieved enduring greatness without first mastering this part of himself. The man ruled by lust is unfocused. His energy is scattered. His willpower corroded. But the man who sees desire not as a trap but as fuel, who learns to ride the fire instead of burn in it, will possess an energy the average man cannot comprehend. He will work longer, think sharper, move faster, persist stronger. Not because he is lucky, but because he retained and redirected the inner flame. Look at Leonardo da Vinci, a man of relentless discipline. His mind burned with clarity and curiosity. He didn't live for distraction. He lived to create. His notebooks overflowed with inventions centuries ahead of their time. His art, his science, his mastery, all born of transmuted energy. He was no slave to appetite. He was master of it. And because of that, he created works that outlived centuries. This must become your discipline now. When the impulse rises, pause. Don't obey it blindly. Don't act on it foolishly. You are not a beast. You are a man. And a man commands his fire. When desire knocks, get to work. Plan. Build. Move. Speak your definite chief aim aloud. Let your hands move while your emotions burn. And you'll feel a shift, a rising, a strengthening of identity. You'll see. Temptation was never your enemy. It was your training. Say it with me now. I do not waste energy. I convert it into power. I build with fire. I lead with discipline. Again, I do not waste energy. I convert it into power. I build with fire. I lead with discipline. This isn't theory. It's transformation. Success doesn't wait. Neither should you. The man who hesitates is already defeated. Opportunity doesn't linger. Wealth doesn't pause. Success doesn't check in with your emotions before moving forward. If you're not willing to act before you feel ready, you may never act at all. Why? Because readiness is not a feeling. Readiness is a decision, and decision is action. The man who thinks like a millionaire doesn't indulge in endless planning. He decides. He acts. He builds momentum. And when resistance shows up, he doesn't retreat. He presses harder. This is one of the great laws of wealth: speed of decision, firmness of purpose, swiftness of action. The longer you delay, the louder fear becomes. Delay gives space for doubt to whisper its poison. But action? Action silences fear. Movement kills hesitation. Once you move, your mind falls into alignment. But when you wait, your mind begins to waver. And with every day of hesitation, you train yourself in weakness. Each pause becomes a lesson in retreat. Until one day, you believe you can't move, not because it's true, but because you've trained your identity to surrender. Let me say this clearly. If you're waiting to feel safe, you're not a man of decision. If you're waiting for the perfect plan, you're not ready for wealth. If you're waiting for someone else to approve, you're still a child in thought. Men who rise don't wait. They move, and they adjust as they go. They understand that boldness is more valuable than certainty, and that action produces more clarity than anxiety ever will. Let me tell you about Charles Schwab. He didn't wait to be given power. He took it. He rose to become president of Carnegie Steel not by asking for permission, but by moving while others stood still. Schwab had a rare gift, initiative. When faced with uncertainty, he decided. When surrounded by hesitation, he acted. And because of this, he rose to wealth, to leadership, and into the pages of history. One day, Carnegie issued a challenge: increase production, improve systems, and do it fast. While others hesitated, Schwab moved. He didn't have every answer. He didn't know every detail, but he knew the law of boldness. And because he acted swiftly and decisively, efficiency improved, production soared, and fortunes multiplied. The man who moves becomes the man who leads. This isn't just true for steel, it's true for your life. So train yourself in the discipline of decisive action. Every morning should begin with a bold move toward your definite chief aim. Don't start your day with hesitation. Don't begin with passive thoughts. Start with movement, because movement reprograms your identity. It teaches your subconscious that you are not a spectator. You are a commander. It could be small, a call you've been putting off, a decision you've been avoiding, a task you've delayed. No matter how small, move. And don't stop, because action compounds. Every move builds momentum. And the man who moves daily, no matter how imperfectly, will outrun the man who waits for perfection. Napoleon Hill put it plainly: procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done the day before yesterday. Don't let that be you. Say this with me now. I act now. I don't hesitate. I move by decision, not emotion. Again, I act now. I don't hesitate. I move by decision, not emotion. Repeat it until your body obeys, until your hands build, until your feet move, until your presence announces that you are the man who moves, not the man who waits. Your voice is the architect of your future. Speak with power, or be built by default. The most important voice in your world is your own, not the opinion of your peers, not the echoes of critics, not the whispers of doubt. It's your voice, your words, spoken with conviction or with fear. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It doesn't respond to casual wishes. It doesn't move on vague dreams. It responds to repetition. And what you repeat most, especially aloud, becomes the blueprint for your outcomes. Do not be deceived. You cannot speak of defeat and expect victory. You cannot talk lack and attract abundance. You cannot label yourself tired, stuck, or hopeless and expect to rise. Life moves according to inner command, and inner command begins with spoken thought. Words are seeds. Every sentence you speak plants roots in your subconscious. Those roots grow into action, into identity, and eventually into results. This is why the language of the average man is soaked in poverty. He talks about what he fears. He talks about what he sees. He repeats what others say. He rehearses lack, frustration, confusion. And because he speaks it, he believes it. And because he believes it, he lives it. He doesn't realize He's the author of his own collapse. His inner voice is untrained. His tongue betrays him daily. And so, his life obeys the law of disorder. But you must be different. From today forward, you live by a new law. No negative speech leaves your lips before noon. Your mornings must be clean. No complaints, no sarcasm, no self-pity, only power. The first hours of your day set the tone, and the tone of your day sets the direction of your week, your month, your year. You must rise with command in your chest and conviction in your voice. If you feel doubt, speak faith. If you feel tired, speak energy. If you feel fear, speak decision. Feelings are followers. They obey your voice, and when your voice is trained, your world becomes aligned. Let's talk about Thomas Edison. The man failed over 10,000 times in pursuit of the light bulb, yet he never called those failures. He called them steps toward success. He refused to feed his mind with defeat. He trained his inner voice to speak in terms of progress, learning, and ultimate triumph. And because of that, he could not be stopped. The man who never speaks of quitting can never fail. Say this now: I speak only what builds. My words are law. My voice creates wealth. Again, I speak only what builds. My words are law. My voice creates wealth. You must believe this in your bones. You must repeat it until your subconscious obeys. You must walk with it until the world confirms it. Napoleon Hill taught, "The subconscious mind makes no distinction between constructive and destructive thoughts. It works with the material we feed it, by default or by design. So feed it with fire. Feed it with clarity. Speak like the man you are becoming. Let your vocabulary match your vision. Let your tone reflect your certainty. Let your daily speech echo the leader within you. And watch as wealth, opportunity, and confidence begin to gravitate toward you, not by accident, but by the law of inner alignment. The richest field in the universe is your subconscious mind, and it's waiting for your instruction. This is not about wishing. This is not about hoping. This is about alignment. Alignment between who you say you are and how you show up every day. When you think, speak, and act like the wealthy version of yourself, long before the world sees results, that is when your transformation begins. You are not trying to force external reality. You are aligning your internal world with it and letting the outside follow naturally. Napoleon Hill made it crystal clear. Life does not respond to your needs. It responds to your desires, your demands, and your expectations. And those expectations? They're shaped by your dominant thoughts, your recurring emotions, and your most deeply held beliefs. So now, it's your turn. Declare this aloud, right now. With all the power of my being, I am a generator of wealth. Money flows to me through multiple channels. I attract exceptional opportunities. I make bold decisions. My mind is programmed for abundance, and the universe responds. Say it in the morning. Say it before sleep. Say it with fire. Not because the world needs to hear it, but because you do. Don't just say it. Feel it. Picture it. How would you walk? How would you speak? How would you decide? How would you respond to pressure? Act like him now, not later. Don't wait for confidence to arrive. Act with confidence, and the feeling will follow. That's how real transformation works. First, identity, then thoughts, then actions, then results. The world doesn't move for who you wish you were. It moves for who you decide to become. You are not a beggar. You are not a child. You are not a victim of fate. You are a creator. Speak like it. Move like it. Command like it. And here's one final truth. You don't need to fight to become someone new. You need to remember who you've always been before the world tried to tame you. That powerful version of you, the one who doesn't wait, who doesn't hesitate, who doesn't beg, that version is not a fantasy. He's you, without the excuses. So from today on, Make this your daily standard. Clear mind, strong speech, disciplined environment, bold action. Let the doubters stay behind. Let the fearful stay seated. But you walk and you don't stop. Because your identity has changed, and the world must now respond accordingly. Say this with finality. My mind is law. My speech is wealth. My steps are fire. My future is inevitable. And walk forward, not because you're ready, but because you're aligned. And when the man is aligned, nothing can stop him.